Okay, so let's talk about the US and China and Taiwan. And what a lot of people might not realize is that Taiwan is not actually a country. It's actually part of China. It's recognized by the UN as part of one China. One China means the world, virtually every country on earth, including the United States, officially recognizes Beijing as the legitimate government of one China, which includes Taiwan and Hong Kong for that matter. Now, while the US officially recognizes that, unofficially, the US promotes independence in Taiwan. Now, even Taiwan, the government officially does not see itself as independent from China. It doesn't. You can check that. But there are factions, political factions, a minority in Taiwan that want independence, and they are encouraged to seek independence by the US. And this is very similar to the movements we saw in Hong Kong and also the movements in Xinjiang in Western China that the US also backs. So you can see the kind of dirty game the US government is playing here. And to make it a little bit dirtier still, this article comes from RT. One China policy null and void. Trump creates diplomatic hot potato for Biden as Pompeo ends all restrictions on Taiwan relations. And what this is taking another step openly, but still unofficially, towards encouraging Taiwanese independence without actually saying it out loud. And they're doing this in the hopes of tricking the public into thinking that, oh, they did this under Trump, it'll be impossible for Biden to reverse it. And the article even mentions that, here, by the way, the article points out that you might not believe it, but the US does not recognize Taiwan as an independent country, even though you would swear that they did. And even the building in Taiwan that would normally be the embassy, they call it the American Institute in Taiwan. Okay, so they're playing a very dirty game here. They're violating the spirit of China's sovereignty over Taiwan. And it should surprise nobody because, I mean, look at what they've done in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, what they tried to do in Hong Kong, what they tried to do in Xinjiang. It should surprise nobody that they're also doing this in regards to Taiwan. But this whole game about Trump and Pompeo doing this right before power is handed over to Biden, it's to make it look like Biden had no choice but to carry this policy onward. But of course, we all know that there is only one singular policy, foreign policy, domestic policy, and it's whatever the giant corporations want. And if the giant corporations want to fight with China, because Chinese corporations and companies and business interests are outcompeting those in the US, then that's what's going to happen no matter who the American people vote into power and no matter what they vow while they're campaigning before they get into power. But it even explains here in the article that Obama did something similar to this in regards to Russia right before he left power, and it was handed over to Trump. And this was in regards to Russia. Obama expelled 35 Russian diplomats from the US on New Year's Eve in 2016. And again, we remember all of this, you know, with Bush and the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. And then we remember all of that being handed over to Obama and people saying, well, Obama had no choice. It was handed to him. He spent 8 years continuing those wars and then starting new wars. And then he handed all of that over to Trump, plus, you know, souring relations with Russia. And now Trump has been doing this trade war with China, and that's going to get handed over to Biden, and it's just going to keep going on and on and on. So don't let this transition in the White House fool anybody. The U.S. has upped its escalation basically with China. It's a trade war. It's getting dangerously close to being almost a military confrontation in some ways. And this game they're playing with Taiwan is dangerous because the entire world, virtually every country on earth, recognizes Beijing as the sovereign government over Taiwan. So this is going to be a dangerous, another flashpoint that we're going to have to watch among many. And as the US starts to lose it, they're going to start doing more and more extreme things to try to salvage their waning power, influence, and wealth. So Taiwan is going to be another flashpoint that we're going to have to keep an eye on. I'm going to put a link to a video by Nathan Rich. He's an American who lives in China. He has very deep knowledge of all things Chinese. And he did a really great video explaining why Taiwan is not a country. Even if you wish it was, it's not. So I'm going to put the link to that in the video description below, and maybe even pin the comment at the top of the comment section so you could take a look at that, just in case you're not sure about this. This is going to be an important topic to really know and understand as this conflict between the US and China continues to heat up. So that's the video for today. To my Patreon patrons, thank you for supporting me and making these videos possible every day. If you're watching this when I publish it publicly a little bit later in the week, please like and share it if you thought it was useful. Think about subscribing to my channel. It's totally free to do and it helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate that. Check the video description for links on how you could support my work, including becoming a patron through Patreon. That's great because not only are you supporting my work month to month, but I give you extra content and benefits in return. I'm kind of trying to build a community around my work. You can discuss different issues, you can send messages, you can comment on special posts that are only up on Patreon. And it would be great to have more people there and a larger community being built around this work. And to everyone, everywhere, helping me in every way, thank you so much. I couldn't do this without my audience. And as always, thank you for watching.